Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So, Daniel Chavera hit me with a question, and I want to answer because I saw something else. So, his question was, what do you think of OSU fans saying that this past season was a fluke, an outlier, and it won't happen again, and that we won't win again anytime soon, where it will be another 10 years of heartache? Now, before I even read that, give my comments on that, I just want to talk about what I saw from Cornelius Johnson. He was talking to the media and said this. Said Cornelius Johnson is treating each practice as if it is a game. Practice 1, season opener. Practice 12 is OSU game. Practice 13, Big Ten title. Practice 15, the spring game, is for the national championship. Right now, we're getting into our 7th practice, which would be our 7th game, Johnson said Monday. I just make up stuff in my head to find motivation. So make sure that 12th practice, I don't know what we'll do, but we need to make it sure it's crazy. Now that Johnson has had any problem motivated, he says he's just focused on state. That's what motivates me, he said. Whether it's Penn State, Michigan State, or Ohio State. Either way, it's state, so those three likely, like they say at Michigan, it's a requirement to come out there and do something. That's all I always think about. So, Ron Bellamy, the receivers coach, he tells them this. And this is something I said last year about the players. It's a legacy thing. That's what you think about. In the long run, how will you leave your legacy here? That's if you want to be great at college, you have to worry about legacy. That's what you worry about. You worry about your legacy at that school and your legacy as a player, because going to the pros, all that stuff isn't guaranteed with injuries, anything. So what I get from that, and to go back to your question, I don't think it's a fluke. I know it's not a fluke because I see what's going on at Michigan. Besides Harbaugh interviewing and all that stuff, that don't mean nothing. That's just for somebody that's a homer, a rival fan. Look, see, something's going on at your program. That's not good. Yeah, okay. What's going on is we have players now that are starting to get it. And they understand what it takes, and they've got a taste of winning. They've got a taste of winning now. They understand, and this was so big, having Aiden, Josh Ross, Hassan, and all those dudes, because they laid a foundation that these other players and these new coaches, so now these young players, they're getting it now. They get it. They get it. So the fluke, no, I don't think it's a fluke, because we have different caliber of players, and we've got talent. Now I know people might say, well, we can still do. We don't have the Georgia and them SEC teams. They not in the Big Ten. So we can run through the Big Ten. All we got to do is really worry about is Ohio State, the states, like he said, the states, and maybe Iowa. But that's what we have to worry about. So whether we lose in the semifinal or whatever, we can't worry about that until we run through the Big Ten. That's what's first. So this fluke, people saying it's a fluke and all that, they can think what they want, but they're gonna be in for a surprise. And the big surprise that they don't seem to understand, a lot of these Ohio State fans, they don't realize Don Brown was garbage. Don Brown, and if you've been watching me, you know I preached about this dude getting out of Michigan. He needed to be fired 3 years ago. Don Brown, 2018, 2019 teams could have maybe beat Ohio State. But Don Brown's scheme was so garbage, and Ryan Day knew it like the back of his hand, he lit him up. And so a lot of Ohio State fans, they're just regular fans, so they don't understand how bad Don Brown was. They just think it was Michigan's bad. That's what they think. Michigan's garbage. We're going to put up 60. We're going to put up 100. Yeah, if Don Brown there, you probably will, because he's going to run man defense and zero coverage, and Ryan Day's going to read him like a book, and he's going to shred it. But when you got somebody that actually knows how to call defenses and knows how to get Ohio State's offense off the field, it's a different game now. This don't look like 2018, 2019. This look like something else. Because before Ryan Day came and just realized, it's Don Brown. I used to coach with this guy, and I used to shred him then. I'm going to shred him now. Before then, the Michigan-Ohio State games, we might have lost, but they were usually close games or somewhat close. They weren't just them scoring 60 and stuff and we don't have a chance after halftime. They were kind of close games. So they haven't realized that's why they were putting up all those points on us. They just think that that's what they're supposed to do now, is score 60 on us every time. No, that happened because we had a garbage defensive coordinator. So them just, it's going to be a blowout. We're going to put up 60. That's about to stop. That's stopping. But a lot of them haven't realized it yet. So that's where they think, that's why they think, honestly, they think it's going to go back to normal or go back to that 2018, 2019, and they're going to put up 60 and they're going to be over there doing backflips and having balloons sent up in the air and all that type of stuff again. But I don't think it's going to be like that. Because if you know how to call a good defense, a mixed coverage, zone, man blitz, zone blitz, it confuses the quarterback and he just can't go out there and say, safety. I got my best receiver on a safety. I got my fastest running back on a linebacker. They're in a man blitz. Let me run a crossing route. He takes a crossing route 50 yards. That's so simple to beat, and that's what happened. So now that Don Brown's gone, they're going to be in a kind of a rude awakening of what's going on at Michigan, because Michigan is getting a caliber of player on the next step up, if that makes sense. Like, Michigan is getting a better caliber of player right now to compete with Ohio State. I was watching some of our recruits, some of the incoming recruits. I was watching Zeke Berry, I believe. Michigan is getting some dudes. Michigan is getting some dudes from Zeke Berry, Cody Jones, Will Johnson. They getting some dudes. It's to play on defense and offense. So it's nothing stays the same forever. And it's funny because, I've had this page for 4 years or something. And I have Ohio State fans that would come on and say, man, the John Cooper years, you take me, just stick with it, bro. The John Cooper years, y'all dominated us. And then it changed with Tressel. And so people don't seem to understand things change. Things change. You just expect you're going to dominate Michigan forever. You went on an epic run. But that don't mean it's going to stay that way forever. So, they can think what they want. But, hey, from what I'm seeing, Michigan is on the way up. And that's just what it is. So, they can think it's a fluke and all that. This is what they best be worried about. Is your team tough? Because Michigan is on some, I'm going to hit you in the mouth, dog. I'm going to test your manhood. And if your manhood ain't where it's supposed to be, I'm going to dominate you. That's what type of stuff Michigan is on. if you're not tough in them trenches, you gonna have a long day. That's what Michigan is on. So you can throw it all around the field. But guess what? If that defensive line and your dudes in the trenches ain't ready to come up and be physical, Michigan is going to dominate you. So all that pass happy, the thing that happens with a pass happy team, they become a soft team. That's why you have a lot of Big 12 teams that are soft, because all they do is throw the ball around. So that's, to me, that's what they best be worried about. Because you can hire coaches, you can hire different coaches, but if you're just a soft, you constantly passing the ball and you ain't used to hitting, then you're gonna have problems, especially going against Michigan now, because Harbaugh has instilled that Harbaugh and these new coaches, shout out to Mike Harden, Moore, and all these dudes. If you not tough, we gonna break you. That's what it's about. So they worried about us. They best be worried about, is Ryan Day who they think he is? Because you can talk all them Urban Meyer stats. Urban Meyer gone. Ryan Day is 1-1 against Harbaugh. He 1-1. So we want that 2-1. That's what we want. Because we are not afraid of Ohio State. Not after that, and not after we see what we got coming back. So that's just what it is. But as far, and the reason I wanted to read what Cornelius said is, you have to understand the legacy. And just like I said last year with Aiden Hutchinson, come out here, get 10 sacks. Josh Ross, go out there and get 100 tackles. Dax Hill, go out there and get 3, 4, 5 picks. Now, he didn't do that, but Josh Ross had 100 tackles. Aiden Hutchinson had, 13 sacks? That's doing work. So this year, I say the same thing. Cornelius, go out there and get 1,000 yards. If you don't get 1,000, give me 10 TDs. Give me 10 TDs. Put in some work. Junior Colson, your turn. 100 tackles. Let me see him. Taylor Upshaw, give me 8, 9, 10 sacks. Mike Morris, give me 10 sacks. Put in the work. DJ Turner, give me 5 picks. Put in the work and put in the work on the field. Put up some numbers. If them dudes is putting up these numbers, we will be back where we want to be. Stats don't lie. When you got dudes getting them stats, wins follow. Wins follow. Blake Corum, and Donovan Edwards, give me 1,000 apiece. Both of y'all give me 1,000. Cade, give me 25 TDs at least. At least 25. That's good numbers for you, because we're gonna be running it down people's throat all year. Give me 25 TDs, bro. So that's what it's about. Create your legacy at Michigan and all your goals to beat state, to beat all the states, go undefeated in the Big Ten, make the playoff again. They'll fall right into place. But I just wanted to kind of put those together because I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm hearing from these dudes. To me, these dudes are starting to understand what they can do. Like last year was such a great year a great year at the right time, because it gave young dudes the chance to see what it can be like to accomplish big things at Michigan. And what I mean by that is to run through the Big Ten. Yeah, you lost one game against Michigan State. We ain't gonna get into that. But you beat Ohio State. You see the fans. There ain't been a scene like that Thanksgiving Day game maybe ever. We almost never seen that with the snow, the atmosphere, the players, and the crowd. We ain't seen nothing like that in a long time. If ever. We ain't seen nothing like that. And that's in college football in general. And you get to be a part of that. Winning the Big Ten. The love you get at Michigan when winning. The expectations come with it. So I like what I'm hearing. Practice like the game. Practice ain't the game. I always say that. But for a quarterback, because they don't get hit. But the rest of them dudes, practice, you can make it the game. Put that work in and you dog your teammates. You dog them dudes. When you in practice, that's not your teammate. That's your opponent. Oh, Cornelius going against DJ Turner? Oh, I feel bad for you, bro. I'm about to put in the work on you. DJ Turner going against Cornelius, boy, you ain't getting no catches today. You better hope they line you up somewhere else, because you about to have a long day. That's your opponent in practice. That's how you get better. That's how you get to the next level. That's how you accomplish goals. You have to put that work in practice and put a stamp on it and build that intensity up. So by the time you get to games, you ready to just run through a wall and you just clicking. You clicking. It don't matter who's out there. We on a mission to win the Big Ten again. This wasn't no fluke. This wasn't no one-year wonder. OSU, we want the Big Ten back. We want it back. We tired of y'all. We want it back. So that's what it is. So you can think it's a fluke who you want to. Okay. Them dudes thinking different. And I love it. They thinking different. They not running from it. They like, okay, we're understanding what it means to be at Michigan. We want to be great. I loved what I heard. And I love JJ's comments. They want to be great. And they not shying away from it. Now, you still got to go out there and do it. But as long as you putting in the work, on the practice field, in the weight room, in the film room, it'll fall into place for you. Everything will fall right into place. As long as injuries don't happen, knock on wood. Besides injuries, everything else will fall into place for you. As long as you putting that work in and almost playing with a passion and a hatred for your opponent. Like, this is personal. This my job type stuff. This is my job. I hate you. When the game over, we can shake hands, but right now, I got to dog you. Simple as that. So, that's just what I feel about it, and I love to hear this type of, this is the right mindset. It's about your legacy and beating them states, beating all of them. Yeah, you got to beat everybody. You want to beat everybody, but you got to win them games. Because almost all those other teams, your talent just going to pretty much beat them, besides maybe Iowa. But besides that, you got to beat those states. Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State. So what I'm hearing, we want the Big Ten back. Not just for 1 year. We're talking every year. That's all I got for this one, y'all. I just wanted to touch on that, and it is what it is. But yeah, fluke season, I don't think so. I mean, they can think that, but I just had to break down why a lot of their mindset is that. So, like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.